Reverse.
How great the role above liberation, a formless field of merit, wrapping ourselves in Buddha's teaching, we free all living beings. And though I thus liberate countless beings, not a single being is liberated.
Incense chant.
Precepts incense, liberation of views incense, cloud of lighted incense, pouring into the Dharma realms, offering to the highest teachers of the 10 directions, I respectfully bow to the altar of the incense cloud. Bodhisattva.
Wisdom dedication.
We dedicate this time and place to the 3 jewels, to the Buddha, the ideal of enlightenment to which we aspire, to the Dharma, the path of the teaching that we follow, Sangha, the spiritual fellowship with one another that we enjoy. Here may no idle word be spoken. Here may no unquiet thoughts disturb our minds. To the observance of the 5 precepts,
We dedicate this place.
to the practice of meditation,
We dedicate this place.
to the ripening of wisdom,
We dedicate this place.
to the joy of awakening,
We dedicate this place.
Though in the world outside there is strife,
Here may there be peace.
though in the world outside there is hate,
Here may there be joy.
Here seated, here practicing,
May our minds become Buddha. May our thoughts become Dharma. May our speech together become Sangha, for the happiness of all beings, for the benefit of all beings. With body, speech, and mind, we dedicate this place. Chant of compassion. We we surround all forms of life with infinite love and compassion. Especially do we send out compassionate thoughts to those in suffering and sorrow, to those in doubt and ignorance, to all who are striving to attain truth, and to those whose feet stand close to the great change called death. We send forth all wisdom, mercy, and love. May the infinite light of wisdom and compassion so shine within us that the errors and vanities of self may be dispelled. So shall we understand the changing nature of existence and awaken into spiritual peace. The refuges.
I take refuge in the Buddha.
I take refuge in.
I take refuge in the Dharma.
I take refuge in the Dharma.
I take refuge in the Sangha.
I take refuge in the Sangha. The 5 precepts.
I take up the practice of not harming living beings.
I take up the practice of not harming living beings.
I will not take what is not offered.
I will not take what is not offered.
I will not misuse sexuality or sensuality.
I will not misuse sexuality or sensuality.
I will practice gentle, truthful speech.
I will practice gentle, truthful speech.
I will not deal in nor misuse intoxicants.
I will not deal in nor misuse intoxicants. The Buddha Sarangamagata. True nature is free from all phenomena, which are illusions by causes created. Phenomena neither rise nor fall, but all phenomena are flowers in the sky. The unreal reveals the real, but both are but illusions. Since there is nothing real nor unreal, how can there be a subject and an object? For between the two there is no true nature, like the point where two rush bundles meet, when set upright, tying and untying from the same cause arise, while the saintly and the worldly are not dual. Consider underlying nature. at the point of eating, careful is and is not, cannot be. If you disregard it, you are in delusion. If you awaken to it, you are free at once. 6 knots are untied, one after the other. When 6 are undone, one vanishes as well. Choose a sense organ that is all penetrating to enter the holy stream and attain Bodhi. Old habits flow like torrents in alaya subtle consciousness, since the real yet unreal can create confusion. I have refrained from revealing it to you. If mind be set on searching for the mind, that which at heart is not illusion becomes illusory. If you stop all grasping, then there is nothing real. If what is not illusion ceases to arise, where can illusion be? This is the profound lotus dharma, the precious Bodhi of the royal gem, the samadhi of seeing all things as illusion, which in a finger snap leads to the state beyond all study. The unsurpassed doctrine was followed by all Bhagavats in all directions on the one path that to nirvana leads. I think every week I tend to say the same thing or allude to the fact that it's always a busy week, always something going on. And since I've left the factory and I've come home full time, caused me to slow down in a lot of ways. But it's been one of the biggest challenges that I can think of. This week in particular, two times what came to mind was the first few fundamentals that I learned about Buddhism. Lessons that are quite profound, but relatively simple to understand. Yeah, things such as the the idea that I'm ruled by my externals, that my conditions, my environment has to be a certain way in order for me to be a certain way. That the people around me, friends, family, have to be a certain way in order for me to be a certain way. My home has to be clean. My home has to be perfect. Well, I can tell you, and of course, throughout all of life, but for sure in the last 6 months, relationships have changed, the home has changed, and I've been routinely reminded not to dwell in thinking that my environment has to be a certain way, because give it 5 minutes and I promise you it'll change. One of the first few things I erroneously tried to take on was to make the house a perfect or complete, and make that a goal of mine when I came home, when I left the factory. Essentially, I needed a new project that would take up my time. And I soon found out that that old adage of home ownership never stops, there's always something to do, is very true. This week, I just finished a monumental task of cleaning every piece of linen, every piece of clothes, every soft item that was upstairs, that had been affected by our pest problem. It was a lot. About a month or so in a couple months in the making. So finished it. I realized that there was this sense of accomplishment, like, huzzah, did it. One step closer. And after I'd cleaned it all, I realized that all I had done was create another job for myself, and that now we got to do something with all of it. Because right now it's taking up the better half of the bedroom in one big pile that looks like Mount Rainier. And so then a bit of disappointment came in. Like, dang it, really don't want to be doing this again. I don't want to be going through all these clothes and linens and blankets and crap again. And so I was painfully reminded not to dwell, not to
hinge my well-being on those externals, my environment. I just had a great high of finishing a great accomplishment that in my mind it was, and now brought myself way low. And that's all externals. Those are all externals that I'm hinging my well-being on that essentially takes the control out of my hands and puts it into something else's, right? When this entire practice, the beauty of it is that it allows you to be in control of your thoughts, control of those feelings that are productive and unproductive, and allows you to be given the choice of what it is you want to feel and when you want to feel it, so that you're not being taken for a ride by your emotions. And that's why they call it a journey or a practice, is because you'll have weeks like I did where you all of a sudden you're feeling great and then you're feeling low. Or, maybe it's not laundry and clothes, maybe it's something else. Maybe it's the dishes, maybe it's your house is falling apart, maybe it's your job, maybe it's moving, maybe it's what have you. Going back to fundamentals, which I tend to do because it always tends to help me the most. Going back to the fundamentals of my meditative practice, taking those moments, taking that time like we just did with those two objects to find that center mind, that supreme Bodhi that allows you to be crystal clear in your thinkings, which sets a great base for you to be able to handle what life throws at you in a productive way. Fundamentals. Looking inward instead of outward. Looking at what's going on with my mind and why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. And not blaming our environment around us. Taking responsibility for it. By putting in the work to undo those knots. It's a practice, it's a journey. One that I'm glad to be. And that'll conclude my Dharma talk. All
right. Announcements. There's only one that I can think of, and that's we're officially on YouTube. Yay! So, just as a reminder, when we record these sessions, and we will not publicly publish our Sangha sharing time because that's private, and Sangha members might not be comfortable sharing with the entire world what they share with the Sangha. So we cut that part out.
Yeah.
But we're on YouTube now.
Oh.
All right.
And I will be putting that on YouTube. You just search for our Zendo Supreme Bodhi Zendo, but I'll also be putting a link to the our YouTube channel in the website, so you can always also find it there.
Alrighty. Closing gata.
Let me respectfully remind you, life and death are of supreme importance. Time passes swiftly and opportunity is lost. Each of us should strive to awaken. Awaken, take heed, do not squander your life. offering of merit. May the merit of this penetrate into each thing in all places, so that we and every sentient being together can realize the Buddha's way. All Buddhas throughout space and time, all Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, wisdom beyond wisdom, experience supreme Bodhi.
Okay. Next, we'll take our a short break. So we will reconvene in about 20 minutes. So that's let's say 3:58 right now. Let's say at 4:20 p.m. we'll come back together for our sutra to continue studying the Shrangma, and then also to conclude with our sun sharing. Break until 4:20, and I'll put the time here in the chat just in case. All right.